The warehouse smelled like rust and gasoline. Cara stood in the center of it, hands shaking, trying not to look at the men around her. 4 of them. Maybe 5. All watching her like she was something they'd already decided what to do with. She'd come here because her brother told her to. Just talk to them, he'd said. Explain that we need more time. But her brother wasn't here now. The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead. One of them flickered. On. Off. On. A door opened somewhere behind her. Footsteps. Everyone in the room went still. The kind of still that happens when something dangerous enters a space. Cara didn't turn around. She couldn't. Her legs wouldn't move. The footsteps stopped. Who is this? The voice was low. Controlled. Not loud, but somehow it filled the entire warehouse. One of the men answered quickly. She's Owen's sister. Came to negotiate the debt. Silence. Then the footsteps again. Closer this time. Cara forced herself to turn. The man standing behind her was tall. Dark suit, perfectly tailored. Black hair pushed back, sharp jawline, eyes that looked like they'd seen too much and felt too little. He didn't look at her the way the other men did. He looked at her like she was a problem he was trying to solve. Your brother owes me $200,000, he said. No introduction. No pleasantries. Cara swallowed. I know. Where is he? I don't know. The man tilted his head slightly, studying her. You don't know, he repeated. Not a question. Just noting it. He left 3 days ago, Cara said. Her voice was quieter than she wanted it to be. He told me he'd handle it, but he didn't. And now I'm here. To do what? To ask for more time. One of the other men laughed. Short. Mean. The man in the suit didn't laugh. Didn't even blink. More time, he said softly. Your brother's had 6 months. I know. He spent my money on poker games and cocaine. I know. And now he's gone. And you're here. Cara met his eyes. It took everything she had, but she did it. I'll pay it back, she said. Another laugh from one of the men. The man in the suit raised one hand. Just slightly. Everyone went silent. He stepped closer. Close enough that Cara could smell his cologne. Something dark. Expensive. How? He asked. I'll work. You're a waitress, he interrupted. You make maybe $30,000 a year. It would take you 7 years to pay me back. Without interest. Cara's chest tightened. He was right. I don't care, she said. I'll do it anyway. He watched her for a long moment. Then he turned to one of his men. Take her to the car. Cara's heart stopped. Wait, what? You said you'd pay me back, the man said, already walking toward the door. So you will. But not as a waitress. I don't understand. He stopped. Looked back at her. Your brother's debt is now your responsibility, he said. You'll work for me until it's paid. If you run, I'll find you. If you lie to me, I'll know. If you cause me a problem. He didn't finish the sentence. He didn't have to. Cara felt her throat close. Do you understand? He asked. She wanted to scream. To run. To tell him to go to hell. But she thought about her brother. About the kind of men who came looking for debts like this. About what they did to people who didn't pay. So instead, she nodded. Good, the man said. Then, to his men, bring her. And just like that, Cara's life was no longer hers. The car was black. Expensive. Leather seats that smelled new. Cara sat in the back, hands folded in her lap, staring out the window as the city blurred past. The man sat beside her. Not close, but not far either. He hadn't said a word since they left the warehouse. Neither had she. The driver, a broad-shouldered man with a scar across his knuckles, glanced at them in the rearview mirror but said nothing. After 20 minutes, the car pulled into an underground garage. Concrete. Dim lights. Rows of expensive cars. The man got out first. Cara followed. He walked without looking back, like he knew she'd follow. She did. They took an elevator. No music. Just the hum of machinery. When the doors opened, Cara stepped into a penthouse. Floor-to-ceiling windows. Minimalist furniture. Everything black, white, or gray. Clean. Cold. Perfect. The man walked to a bar in the corner, poured himself a drink. Cara stood near the elevator, unsure if she was allowed to move. Sit, he said, without turning around. She sat on the edge of a sleek leather couch. He took a sip of his drink, then finally looked at her. My name is Dominic Cale, he said. You'll call me Mr. Cale. Not Dom. Not Dominic. Understood. Cara nodded. You'll live here, he continued. You'll work when I tell you to work. You'll go where I tell you to go. You'll speak when I allow it. He set the glass down. You will not contact your brother. You will not contact your friends. You will not leave this building without my permission. Cara's chest felt tight. For how long? She asked quietly. Until your debt is paid. And how long will that take? Dominic looked at her. Really looked at her. That depends on you, he said. Cara swallowed. What? What kind of work? Administrative. Accounting. Deliveries. Whatever I need. That's it. His expression didn't change. Were you expecting something else? She didn't answer. He studied her for a moment longer, then walked toward a hallway. Your room is the second door on the left, he said. Don't go into any other rooms. Don't touch anything that isn't yours. And don't make me repeat myself. Then he disappeared into the shadows of the hallway. Cara sat there, alone in the massive penthouse. And for the first time in hours, she let herself breathe. That night, Cara lay in bed, a bed that was bigger and softer than anything she'd ever slept in, and stared at the ceiling. She thought about her brother, about how he'd promised to take care of things, about how he'd left her to clean up his mess. She thought about Dominic Cale, about the way he looked at her, not with lust, not with cruelty, just calculation. Like she was a piece on a chessboard he was still deciding how to use. She didn't sleep that night, and somewhere, in another room, neither did he. The next morning, Cara woke to silence. No alarm, no noise, just sunlight streaming through floor-to-ceiling windows she'd been too exhausted to close. She got dressed in the clothes she'd worn yesterday, jeans, a plain shirt, and stepped into the hallway. The penthouse was empty, or at least it felt that way. She walked carefully like she was trespassing. In the kitchen, she found a note on the marble counter. Eat. Be ready by 9. DK. It was 8:47. Cara grabbed a piece of toast, forced herself to eat it, and waited. At exactly 9 o'clock, Dominic appeared. He wore another suit. This one charcoal gray. Perfectly pressed. He looked like someone who never had a wrinkle in his life. Follow me, he said. No good morning. No small talk. Cara followed him to a room at the end of the hallway, an office. Sleek desk. Computers. Filing cabinets. Everything organized within an inch of its life. Dominic gestured to a chair. She sat. He pulled a folder from a drawer and placed it in front of her. These are invoices, he said. I need you to cross-reference them with the shipment logs in the system. Flag anything that doesn't match. Cara stared at the folder. That's it. That's it. And if I find something wrong, you tell me. He turned to leave. Wait, Cara said. He paused. Why me? She asked. You could have just, I don't know, sent someone after my brother. Why bring me here? Dominic looked at her. For the first time, something flickered in his expression. Not warmth, but something close to consideration. Because your brother would have run, he said. And you won't. How do you know? Because you're here. Then he left. Cara worked for hours. The invoices were endless. Numbers, dates, names she didn't recognize. Some of them didn't match the logs. She flagged them, just like he'd asked. By the time the sun started to set, her eyes burned. She leaned back in the chair, rubbing her temples. That's when she heard it. Voices. Coming from somewhere deeper in the penthouse. Cara stood slowly, walked to the door. The voices were louder now. 2 men. Maybe 3. One of them was Dominic. I don't care what he says he'll do, Dominic said, his voice cold. If he doesn't deliver by Friday, we move on him. And if he retaliates? Another voice asked. Then we make an example. Cara's stomach twisted. She stepped back from the door. This was the world she was in now. Not waitressing. Not normal. This. Later that night, Dominic knocked on her door. Cara opened it. He stood there, still in his suit, but his tie was gone. Top button undone. He looked tired. You finished the invoices? He asked. Yes. How many discrepancies? 12. He nodded. Good. He turned to leave. Mr. Cale, Cara said. He stopped. What happens if I make a mistake? He looked back at her. Don't, he said simply. Then he walked away. 3 weeks passed. Cara fell into a routine. Wake up. Work. Eat in silence. Sleep. Dominic barely spoke to her. He'd give instructions in the morning, check her work in the evening, and disappear into meetings, phone calls, or places she wasn't allowed to ask about. She learned quickly not to ask questions, but she also learned to watch. She noticed the way his jaw tightened when certain names came up in conversation. The way his hand would flex, just once, when he was angry, even though his face stayed perfectly calm. The way he'd pour himself a drink some nights and never take a sip. Just hold the glass. He was controlled, but he wasn't unbreakable. One night, Cara couldn't sleep. She walked to the kitchen for water and found Dominic standing by the window, staring out at the city. He didn't turn when she entered. For a moment, she thought about leaving. But instead, she poured herself water and stood a few feet away. "You should be asleep," he said quietly. "So should you." Silence. Then, to her surprise, he spoke again. "Do you hate me?" Cara blinked. "What?" "For bringing you here. For your brother's debt." He still didn't look at her. "Do you hate me?" She thought about it. "I don't know you well enough to hate you," she said honestly. Dominic's mouth curved. Not quite a smile, but close. Smart answer. Cara took a sip of water. "Can I ask you something?" she said. "You can ask. I might not answer. Why do you do this? This life. The whatever this is." Dominic finally turned to look at her. His eyes were dark, unreadable. "Because I'm good at it," he said. "That's not a reason. It's the only one that matters." He walked past her, back toward his room. But before he disappeared, he paused. "Your brother called," he said. Cara's heart stopped. "What?" "One of my men intercepted it. He wanted to know if you were okay." "What did you tell him?" "Nothing. I don't negotiate with cowards." Cara's throat tightened. Dominic looked at her one last time. "He asked if you hated him," Dominic said. "I told him I didn't know. Then he was gone." It happened on a Tuesday. Cara was in the office, reviewing another stack of paperwork when the door opened. But it wasn't Dominic. It was a man she'd never seen before. Tall, blonde, wearing a suit that looked expensive but somehow wrong on him. He smiled. It didn't reach his eyes. "You must be Cara," he said. She stood slowly. "Who are you?" "Marcus. I work with Dominic." He stepped inside, hands in his pockets. "Casual. Too casual. He asked me to check on you." Cara's instinct screamed. "He didn't mention that," she said carefully. Marcus's smile widened. "He wouldn't. Dominic doesn't like to worry people." He walked closer. Cara's pulse quickened. "I should get back to work," she said. "Relax. I just wanted to introduce myself." He leaned against the desk. "You know, you're prettier than I expected. Owen's sister, right?" Cara didn't answer. "He owes a lot of people money," Marcus continued. "Not just Dominic. Did you know that?" "I'm aware. And yet here you are, playing house with the most dangerous man in the city." He tilted his head. "Brave. Or stupid." "Get out," Cara said. Marcus laughed. "Feisty. I like that." The door opened. Dominic stepped in. The temperature in the room dropped. Marcus straightened immediately, smile vanishing. "Dom, I was just—" "Get out." 2 words. Quiet. Lethal. Marcus left without another word. Dominic closed the door behind him. Locked it. Then he turned to Cara. "Did he touch you?" "No." "Did he threaten you?" "No. He just talked." Dominic's jaw tightened. He walked to her, stopped a foot away. "If anyone ever comes into this room without me," he said, voice low, "you scream. You understand?" Cara nodded. He studied her face, looking for something. "You're shaking," he said. She hadn't realized. Dominic exhaled slowly, then did something she didn't expect. He pulled out a chair. "Sit." She did. He poured her a glass of water from a bottle on the desk, handed it to her. "Marcus is a liability," Dominic said quietly. "He won't be a problem again. What are you going to do to him?" "Nothing you need to worry about." Cara looked up at him. "You're protecting me." Dominic didn't deny it. "You're my responsibility," he said. "That means no one touches you. No one threatens you. No one even looks at you wrong." "Why?" He didn't answer. Instead, he reached out, slowly, carefully, and brushed a strand of hair from her face. His hand didn't linger, but the gesture said everything. "Finish your work," he said quietly. Then he left, and Cara sat there, heart pounding, realizing something terrifying. She was starting to feel safe with him. 2 days later, everything changed. Cara woke to shouting. She bolted out of bed, heart racing, and opened her door a crack. Dominic's voice. Loud. Angry. A tone she'd never heard from him before. "I don't care what he thinks he's owed. He touches my property again, he's done. Dom, he's connected. We can't just—" "I said he's done." Silence. Then footsteps. Cara closed her door quickly, pressed her back against it. A moment later, there was a knock. "Cara." She opened the door. Dominic stood there, still in yesterday's clothes. Hair slightly disheveled. Eyes hard. "Pack a bag," he said. What? Why? We're leaving. Now. I don't understand. Someone put a price on your head, Dominic said flatly. We're leaving before they collect. Cara's blood turned cold. Who? Doesn't matter. Pack. 5 minutes. He turned to leave. Wait, Cara said. Why would someone? Because hurting you hurts me, Dominic said. He didn't look at her. And right now a lot of people want to hurt me. So this is my fault? No. He finally turned. It's mine. Then he was gone. They left through the garage. Different car this time. Unmarked. Older. Dominic drove. Fast. Cara gripped the door handle, watching the city disappear behind them. Where are we going? She asked. Somewhere safe. For how long? I don't know. An hour later, they pulled up to a cabin. Middle of nowhere. Woods all around. No neighbors. No lights except the moon. Dominic killed the engine. Stay close to me, he said. They went inside. The cabin was small. 1 bedroom. A couch. A fireplace. Dominic locked the door, checked the windows, then finally let himself breathe. Cara stood in the center of the room, still holding her bag. I don't understand, she said quietly. Why am I worth this much trouble? Dominic looked at her. Really looked at her. Because you're not like them, he said. Like who? Everyone else. He ran a hand through his hair. You don't lie. You don't scheme. You showed up to pay a debt that wasn't even yours. He stopped. I'm what? Dominic's jaw worked. You're good, he said finally. And I don't deserve that. Cara's chest tightened. You're protecting me because you think I'm good? I'm protecting you because if something happens to you, I'll burn the city down to find who did it. The words hung in the air. Cara stared at him. That's not about the debt, she whispered. Dominic didn't answer. He didn't have to. That night, they sat by the fireplace. No words. Just the crackle of flames. Cara watched him from the corner of her eye. He looked tired. Human. Can I ask you something? She said softly. Always asking questions, he murmured. Have you ever cared about someone? Really cared? Dominic was quiet for a long time. Once, he said. What happened? I got her killed. Cara's breath caught. Dominic stared into the fire. I was younger. Stupid. Thought I could have both. The life and the girl. He shook his head. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Don't be. It taught me something. What? He looked at her. That people like me don't get to keep the things we love. The words settled heavy between them. Cara wanted to say something. Anything. But before she could, Dominic stood. Get some sleep, he said. I'll take the couch. Dominic. Good night, Cara. He walked away. And Cara sat there, heart breaking for a man who'd never let himself be saved. 3 days in the cabin. 3 days of silence, tension, and something unspoken building between them. Cara helped cook. Dominic chopped wood. They existed around each other like 2 planets in orbit, close but never quite touching. Until the 4th night. Cara woke to the sound of breaking glass. She shot out of bed, heart hammering. Dominic was already in her room, gun in hand, finger to his lips. Quiet. She nodded. He moved to the window, looked out. Then he cursed under his breath. How many? Cara whispered. 3. Maybe 4. What do we do? Dominic looked at her. In his eyes, she saw something she'd never seen before. Fear. Not for himself. For her. There's a door in the back, he said quietly. Through the kitchen. It leads to the woods. You run, you don't stop, you don't look back. What about you? I'll handle this. Dom. Cara. He grabbed her shoulders. If I don't make it out, you find a man named Lucas. He'll protect you. Tell him I sent you. He'll know what to do. No. I'm not leaving you. This isn't a debate. I don't care. Another crash. Closer this time. Dominic's grip tightened. Please, he said. It was the first time she'd ever heard him beg. Cara's eyes burned. Promise me you'll be right behind me. He didn't answer. Dominic. Promise me. He leaned in, pressed his forehead to hers. I promise, he whispered. Then he kissed her. It wasn't gentle. It wasn't soft. It was desperate. Final. Like he was saying goodbye. When he pulled back, his eyes were dark. Run. Cara ran. Through the kitchen. Out the back door. Into the woods. Behind her, she heard gunfire. Shouting. She wanted to turn back. But she kept running. Branches tore at her skin. Her lungs burned. She ran until she couldn't hear anything but her own heartbeat. Then she collapsed against a tree, gasping, tears streaming down her face. Please be okay. Please. Hours passed. Or maybe minutes. Cara didn't know. She stayed hidden, shaking, waiting. Then she heard footsteps. She pressed herself against the tree, holding her breath. Cara! She nearly sobbed. Dominic stepped into view. Blood on his shirt. Cut above his eyebrow. But alive. Alive. Cara ran to him. He caught her, pulled her close. I'm okay, he murmured. I'm okay. She couldn't stop shaking. I know. He held her tighter. And for the first time since this all started, Dominic Cale let himself hold on to something. They didn't go back to the cabin. Dominic called someone, Cara didn't know who, and within an hour, a car arrived. They drove in silence. Cara's head rested against the window. Dominic's hand rested on the gear shift. Neither of them spoke about the kiss, but it sat between them like a living thing. They ended up at a safe house. Bigger than the cabin. Nicer. But just as isolated. Dominic locked the door behind them, then finally let himself collapse onto the couch. Cara sat beside him. Who are they? She asked quietly. People I used to work with. Why did they come after us? Because I chose you over them. Cara's breath caught. Dominic looked at her. I was supposed to hand you over, he said. 3 weeks ago. Your brother's debt. It wasn't just money. It was a trade. You for information. Cara felt the room tilt. What? Your brother made a deal. He'd give them you, and they'd clear his debt. And you? I refused. Cara couldn't breathe. Why? Dominic's jaw tightened. Because the moment I saw you in that warehouse, I knew. He shook his head. I knew if I let them take you, I'd never forgive myself. You didn't even know me. I didn't have to. Cara's eyes burned. So you kept me. Protected me. All while knowing it would cost you. Yes. Why? Dominic stood. Walked to the window. Because I'm tired, Cara. His voice was raw. I'm tired of being the man everyone's afraid of. Tired of making decisions that leave people dead. Tired of waking up and not feeling anything. He turned to face her. And then you showed up. And for the first time in 10 years, I felt something. Cara stood slowly. What did you feel? Dominic's hands clenched at his sides. Hope, he whispered. That maybe I wasn't completely broken. Cara crossed the room. Stood in front of him. You're not broken, she said softly. You don't know what I've done. I don't care. You should. Well, I don't. Dominic looked at her like she was something impossible. You should hate me, he said. I know. You should run. I know. Then why are you still here? Cara reached up, touched his face. Because I don't want to be anywhere else. Dominic closed his eyes, and when he opened them again, they were wet. He pulled her into his arms, held her like she was the only real thing left in the world. And Cara held him back. The next morning, Dominic was gone. Cara woke alone, the space beside her cold. She found a note on the kitchen counter. Stay inside. I'll be back by tonight. D. She crumpled the note in her hand. Hours passed. Cara tried to distract herself. Cleaned. Made food she didn't eat. Stared out the window. By the time the sun started to set, panic crept in. Then she heard the door. Dominic stepped inside. He looked different. Tired. Older. What happened? Cara asked. He didn't answer right away. Just walked to the couch. Sat down heavily. Cara sat beside him. I met with them, he said finally. Who? The people who want you. He rubbed his face. I gave them a choice. Let this go, or I dismantle everything they've built. And? They laughed. Cara's stomach dropped. Dominic looked at her. They're not going to stop, Cara. Not unless I give them something bigger. Like what? Me. Cara's heart stopped. No. It's the only way. No. Dominic, no. If I turn myself in, they'll leave you alone. The debt. The target. All of it. Gone. And you'll be dead. Probably. Cara grabbed his face. Forced him to look at her. I won't let you do that. It's not your choice. Yes, it is. Tears spilled down her cheeks. You don't get to decide to die for me. You don't get to do that. Dominic's expression cracked. I can't protect you anymore, he whispered. This life, it's going to kill you. If not them, then someone else. And I can't. I can't watch that happen. Then we run. Both of us. We disappear. They'll find us. Then we fight. Cara, I'm not losing you. Her voice broke. I'm not. So whatever plan you have, whatever sacrifice you think you need to make, no. Dominic stared at her. Then, slowly, he pulled her into his arms. I don't deserve you, he whispered. You keep saying that. Because it's true. Cara pulled back, looked him in the eyes. Then spend the rest of your life proving me wrong. Dominic's breath hitched, and for the first time since she'd known him, he smiled. A real smile. Okay, he whispered. Okay. Okay. He kissed her. Slow. Soft. Like they had all the time in the world. They spent the next 2 days planning. Dominic had contacts. People who owed him favors. People who'd help. Cara helped where she could, research, logistics, keeping him focused when the weight of it all got too heavy. They worked side by side. And somewhere in the middle of it all, Cara realized something. She'd stopped counting the days until her debt was paid. Because this wasn't about the debt anymore. It never really was. On the third night, Dominic's phone rang. He answered. Listened. His expression went cold. When? He asked. A pause. I'll handle it. He hung up. Cara stood. What is it? They found us. How? Doesn't matter. We have maybe an hour. Then we run. No. Dominic grabbed a duffel bag from the closet. Started packing. I'm done running. What are you talking about? He turned to her. I'm ending this. Tonight. Dominic. I need you to trust me. I do trust you. Then get in the car. They drove into the city. Straight into the heart of it. Dominic parked outside a building Cara didn't recognize. Stay here, he said. No. Cara. I'm not letting you go in there alone. Dominic's jaw clenched. Then he handed her a gun. You know how to use this? No. Point. Shoot. Don't hesitate. Cara took it with shaking hands. I'm serious, Cara. If someone comes at you, you shoot. She nodded. Dominic leaned in. Kissed her. Stay behind me. Inside, the building was dark. Empty. Dominic moved like a shadow. Cara followed. They reached a room at the end of the hall. Dominic pushed the door open. Inside, a man sat at a desk. Older. Gray hair. Expensive suit. He looked up. Smiled. Dominic. I was wondering when you'd show up. This ends tonight, Victor. Victor leaned back in his chair. Does it? You have two options. Walk away. Or don't. Victor laughed. You think you can threaten me? Dominic pulled out a file. Dropped it on the desk. That's every deal you've made in the last 10 years. Every bribe. Every murder. Every lie. It's all there. Victor's smile faded. And if anything happens to me or Cara, Dominic continued, it goes to the feds. The press. Everyone. Victor's eyes darkened. You'd destroy yourself too. I don't care. Silence. Victor looked at Cara, then back at Dominic. You'd burn it all down for her? Without hesitation. Victor studied him. Then slowly he nodded. Fine. She's off limits. And the debt? Forgiven. Dominic didn't move. Say it again. Victor's jaw tightened. The debt is forgiven. She's free. Dominic stepped back. Good. He turned, took Cara's hand, and they walked out. They didn't speak until they were back in the car. Dominic's hands gripped the steering wheel, knuckles white. Cara watched him. Is it really over? She asked quietly. Dominic exhaled slowly. Yes. Just like that. Just like that. Cara felt something break open in her chest. Relief. Fear. Joy. All at once. So I'm free. Dominic looked at her. You're free. The words should have felt like celebration. But instead, they felt like goodbye. Cara's throat tightened. What happens now? She whispered. Dominic started the car. Now you go home, he said. Back to your life. Back to normal. And you? I disappear for a while. Let things settle. Dominic. It's safer this way. For who? He didn't answer. Cara grabbed his hand. Don't do this. Cara. Don't push me away. Not now. Not after everything. Dominic closed his eyes. You deserve better than this life. Stop deciding what I deserve. You could die just by being near me. I almost died 3 times already. I'm still here. Dominic looked at her. And in his eyes she saw it. The war. Between what he wanted and what he thought was right. I can't give you a normal life, he said. I don't want normal. You'll get hurt. Then I'll heal. Cara. I love you. The words hung in the air. Dominic stared at her. You don't mean that. Yes, I do. You barely know me. I know enough. Dominic's breath shook. I've done terrible things. I know. I'll probably do more. I know. Then why? Because you chose me, Cara said, tears streaming down her face. When you didn't have to. When it cost you everything. You chose me. And I'm choosing you back. Dominic's hands trembled. I don't know how to do this, he whispered. Do what? Be with someone. Be happy. Then we'll figure it out together. Dominic pulled her across the console, kissed her like she was oxygen. When they broke apart, his forehead rested against hers. I love you, he whispered. God help me, I love you. Cara smiled through her tears. Was that so hard? Terrifying, actually. She laughed. And Dominic laughed too. A real, genuine laugh. The kind that sounded like freedom. 2 weeks later, everything fell apart. Cara was at the penthouse, their penthouse now, Dominic had insisted, making coffee when she heard the door open. She smiled, expecting Dominic. But it wasn't him. It was a woman. Tall. Red hair. Beautiful in a dangerous way. She looked at Cara like she was already dead. You must be the girl, the woman said. Cara set down her mug slowly. Who are you? Someone who knows Dominic better than you ever will. Cara's pulse quickened. He's not here. I know. That's why I came now. The woman stepped closer. Cara's hand moved toward her phone. I wouldn't, the woman said. She pulled back her jacket, revealing a gun. Sit down. Cara sat. The woman sat across from her, gun resting casually in her lap. Let me tell you a story, she said. About a man who once promised to burn the world down for me. Who said he'd leave this life. Be different. Cara's stomach twisted. And then one day, he chose the life over me. And I lost everything. The woman's smile was cold. So forgive me if I don't believe his promises to you. What do you want? I want you to understand what you're really in for. She leaned forward. Dominic Cale doesn't love. He obsesses. He possesses. And when he's done with you, and he will be done, he'll move on. Just like he did with me. You're wrong. Am I? The woman tilted her head. Has he told you about the others? About the girl before me? About what happened to her? Cara didn't answer. He got her killed, the woman said. Just like he told you. But what he didn't tell you is that it wasn't an accident. He used her as bait. To draw out an enemy. She died screaming. You're lying. Ask him. The door opened. Dominic stepped in. He saw the woman. Saw the gun. His expression went arctic. Rebecca, he said quietly. Hello, Dominic. Put the gun down. Or what? You'll kill me too. Dominic moved slowly. Hands visible. Calm. I'm not going to kill you. No. You'll just ruin my life. Again. Rebecca. Did you tell her? Rebecca asked. About Sarah? About how you used her. Dominic's jaw clenched. I told her what she needed to know. Which was nothing. Rebecca stood. You're a coward, Dominic. You always have been. She pointed the gun at Cara. And she deserves to know what she's really getting into. Dominic stepped between them. You want to shoot someone, Rebecca? Shoot me. Leave her out of this. Rebecca's hand shook. I loved you, she whispered. I know. And you destroyed me. I know. Tears streamed down Rebecca's face. I should kill you both. You should, Dominic said gently. I deserve it. Rebecca's finger moved to the trigger. Cara held her breath. Then Rebecca lowered the gun. I can't, she whispered. She looked at Cara. Run, she said. While you still can. Then she left. The silence that followed was deafening. Cara stood slowly. Dominic. He didn't turn around. Is it true? She asked. About Sarah? Yes. Cara's chest tightened. You used her? Yes. And she died? Yes. Why didn't you tell me? Dominic finally turned. His eyes were hollow. Because I knew if I did, you'd leave. So you lied. I didn't lie. I just didn't tell you everything. That's the same thing. Dominic stepped toward her. Cara, don't. She backed away. Don't come near me right now. Please. Let me explain. Explain what? That you're exactly what she said you are. I'm trying to be different with you. But you're not. Cara's voice broke. You're still keeping secrets. Still making decisions without me. Still treating me like something you own instead of someone you love. That's not fair. Isn't it? Dominic's hands clenched. I'm doing the best I can. And what if your best isn't good enough? The words hung between them. Dominic looked like she'd struck him. If that's how you feel, he said quietly, then maybe you should leave. Cara stared at him. Is that what you want? I want you to be safe. Happy. And maybe that means being far away from me. So you're pushing me away again. I'm giving you a choice. No. You're making the choice for me. Cara grabbed her jacket. You know what, Dominic? You're right. You don't know how to love someone. Because love means trusting them. And you don't trust anyone. She walked to the door. Dominic didn't stop her. Cara. She paused. I'm sorry, he said. She looked back at him. So am I. Then she left. Cara went to her old apartment. It was exactly as she'd left it months ago. Small. Cramped. But hers. She sat on her bed and cried. For Dominic. For herself. For everything that could have been. 3 days passed. No calls. No texts. Nothing. Cara went back to work at the diner. Her co-workers asked where she'd been. She said she'd been sick. They didn't press. Everything went back to normal. Except nothing felt normal anymore. She'd sit at the counter during slow hours and stare out the window, half expecting to see him. But he never came. On the 4th night, someone did. Lucas. Cara recognized him from Dominic's descriptions. Big. Quiet. Loyal. He sat at the counter. Coffee, he said. Cara poured it. He's a mess, Lucas said after a moment. Cara didn't respond. Hasn't eaten. Hasn't slept. Just sits in that penthouse like a ghost. Why are you telling me this? Because he won't fight for you. He thinks he's doing you a favor by letting you go. Lucas took a sip of coffee. But he's wrong. Maybe he's not. Lucas looked at her. You really believe that? Cara's hands shook. I don't know what to believe anymore. He loves you. More than he's ever loved anyone. And it terrifies him. Then he should tell me that. He's trying to protect you. I don't need protection. I need honesty. Lucas nodded slowly. Then tell him that. He doesn't want to see me. Yes, he does. He's just too stubborn to admit it. Lucas stood. Left money on the counter. For what it's worth, he said, I've known Dominic for 15 years. And I've never seen him happy. Not once. Until you. Then he left. Cara finished her shift. Walked home. Lay in bed. And stared at the ceiling. I've never seen him happy. The words echoed. She thought about Dominic. About the way he'd held her after the cabin. The way he'd smiled when she told him she loved him. The way he'd looked at her, like she was the only good thing in his entire world. And she realized something. He'd made mistakes. He'd lied by omission. But he'd also chosen her. Protected her. Loved her the only way he knew how. And maybe that was enough. Maybe love wasn't about perfection. Maybe it was about choosing to stay, even when it was hard. Cara sat up, grabbed her jacket, and ran. Cara arrived at the penthouse at midnight. She used the key Dominic had given her, the one she'd kept even after leaving. The lights were off. She found him in the living room, sitting in the dark, staring at nothing. Dominic. He didn't move. You shouldn't be here, he said quietly. I know. I meant what I said. You deserve better. And I meant what I said. Stop deciding for me. Dominic finally looked at her. He looked broken. I don't know how to fix this, he whispered. Then let me help you. I'll hurt you again. Probably. You deserve someone who can give you the world. I don't want the world. Cara crossed the room. Knelt in front of him. I want you. Broken, scared, imperfect you. Dominic's eyes filled. Why? Because you're worth it. Even when you don't believe it. He pulled her into his arms. Held her so tight she could barely breathe. I'm sorry, he whispered. For all of it. For not telling you. For pushing you away. For being too afraid to fight for you. I know. I love you. More than I've ever loved anything. I know that too. She pulled back. Looked at him. But you have to stop protecting me from yourself. I'm not some fragile thing that's going to break. I'm choosing this. I'm choosing you. And you have to let me. Dominic cupped her face. I don't deserve you. Then spend every day proving me wrong. He smiled. A real smile. Deal. Then he kissed her. And this time it felt like a promise. 3 months later. Cara stood in Dominic's office. Their office now, since she'd officially started working with him on legitimate business ventures, reviewing contracts. Dominic walked in with coffee. You're still working? He asked. So are you. Fair point. He set the coffee down, wrapped his arms around her from behind. Come to bed, he murmured. In a minute. You said that an hour ago. Cara smiled, turned in his arms. Fine. You win. They walked to the bedroom together. As they lay in the dark, Dominic's hand found hers. Cara? Thank you. For what? For staying. For fighting for me when I wouldn't fight for myself. Cara squeezed his hand. Always. Dominic kissed her temple. I'm going to marry you someday, he whispered. Cara's heart skipped. Is that a proposal? Not yet. But it's a promise. I'll hold you to that. Please do. They fell asleep tangled together. And for the first time in either of their lives, the darkness didn't feel so heavy. Cara sat on the balcony, watching the sun set over the city. She heard footsteps behind her. Dominic sat down, handed her a glass of wine. "What are you thinking about?" he asked. "How different everything is now." "Good different. The best different." He smiled. Then he reached into his pocket, pulled out a small box. Cara's breath caught. "Dominic, I told you I'd marry you someday," he said. "I'm just impatient." He opened the box. Inside was a simple ring. "Beautiful. Perfect. Cara Mitchell," he said. "Will you marry a broken, dangerous, completely obsessed man who will spend the rest of his life trying to deserve you?" Cara's eyes filled with tears. "Yes." Dominic slipped the ring on her finger, kissed her, and somewhere in the city below, life went on. But up here, in this moment, it was just them. Two broken people who'd found each other, and chose to stay. 2 years later, a small wedding, just close friends. No family, neither of them had much left. Cara wore a simple white dress. Dominic wore a suit that actually made him look soft. They said their vows, promised to love each other through the darkness, through the fear, through everything. When Dominic kissed his bride, Lucas, his best man, actually smiled. At the reception, Cara pulled Dominic aside. "I have something to tell you," she said. "Should I be worried?" She took his hand, placed it on her stomach. Dominic's eyes went wide. "You're pregnant. About 8 weeks." Dominic stared at her. Then he laughed. A real, pure, joyful laugh. He picked her up, spun her around. "We're having a baby," he whispered. "We're having a baby." He set her down gently, kissed her. "I never thought I'd have this," he said. "A family. A life. Something good. You have it now. Because of you. Because of us." Dominic rested his forehead against hers. And for the first time in his entire life, Dominic Cale felt whole. The end.